If you're looking at a Audi Q8, one question that comes into mind, especially for me, is would you spend an extra $12,000 to near $13,000 for features or go up into the SQ8? I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle. We're presenting the 2025 Audi Q8 Premium Plus with the black optic package, the S-Line package, and the executive package. And when you tally all this together, some of these things you can get standard when you go into the SQ8 if you didn't already know. And that's what we're gonna be comparing this against to see really if this is a steal or should you go up to the next trim. Starting, all of them are gonna have 8 inches of clearance. This has the adaptive comfort suspension with the adaptive dampers. When you go into the SQ8, you're going to have the sport tuned adaptive damping suspension. That's going to be standard. Here you have to go to the executive package. So you're already spending some dough going this route. HD matrix design LED headlights and daytime runnings. That's going to be the same on the SQ8. With the animation, when you lock and unlock the door, it will basically greet you or say bye to you. The black optic package, you have to option this on both trims. That's going to blacken out the single frame Audi grille with the matte black in the interior. The Audi O-rings were redesigned, and the black rings is because we have the Audi beam ring. That's a standalone package when you go into the Q8. The lower is going to get the glossy black highlighting the side air pocket with this Daytona gray pearl. Underneath the hood really changes the whole game because this is a 3.0 liter TFSI V6 producing 335 horsepower with 369 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission. Now the big difference here is when you go into the SQ8, you're getting a V8 twin turbo, more or less a detuned ×2 Lamborghini Urus engine, and that has 500 horsepower. The 0 to 60 here is at 5.5 seconds, so it's quick enough. You may want to test drive this first if you are looking at the 2, because the other one, 4.1 seconds. It's a night and day difference of a drive. Rear axle steering, that's going to come standard on the SQ8. On the Q8, you have to pay some more dough. The black optic package comes into the side because we got these 285/40 22-inch wheels on all 4 corners. Now the S-Line is the reason why we have the sport bumpers in the front. The black optic package adds the glossy black on the lower skirt. Around all the window trims and the roof rails get the matte black and the same color as the body on the side view mirror cap. 6 pistons are housed in the front, but you're going to get a larger disc reading when you go into the SQ8, a single floating caliper in the rear. So when we're thinking about performance, this is the beginning of it. Both will tow up to 7,700 pounds, which is awesome because for competition purposes, BMW, it actually lowers towing capacity going into the M Sport. And because the MSRP is $86,700 and change, we have over $12,000 of updates and features here. That's the whole reason why I would say you may want to look at both because you're going to be under 100 grand going into the SQ8 and it does have some more performance, but the MPGs is going to be better here because you're getting 17 for the city, 23 for the highway with that Quattro all-wheel drive. But it's not a huge difference because it's only 2 MPGs for the city and the highway going to the SQ8. The rear gets the standard LED taillights that wrap around the whole rear. The black optic package blacks out the lower. You get the dual exhaust. SQ8 is going to have a quad exhaust with the new Audi O-rings, and the gloss black will finish off the coupe design. Safety is taken care of on both because you have your frontal collision, pedestrian detection, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control with lane tracing assist, rear cross traffic alert, front and rear parking sensors, and when you go Premium Plus, you get a 360-degree reverse camera, which when you go into the SQ8, you're going to have a lot more standard features. That's why spending that extra dough, if you could work a deal, you might be able to get it right at the same price as a Q8, and you're going to have a lot more performance. Let me know in the comments which way you would go for the Q8 or the SQ8, and if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. Check out the videos that we do here at Supercar Throttle. Leave a like because all of this engagement help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles to the channel. And this is what I mean by it may be enough performance at 5.5 seconds. Look at what you get. Quiet in the interior, it stays comfortable. Maneuverability is good too. It's kind of gripping relatively well for what you got. And the exit. And this is what I was saying, that it may be enough performance because you're getting a lot of luxury blended in going this route, which when you're at this price point, you may still want to consider a test drive of the SQ8. We have a ton of reviews on them on Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to be bringing some to the channel shortly. It's the only thing that I would say is a disadvantage is adding all these features, because you're at 12 grand and it's not necessarily fully loaded because they have a Prestige which will go over $90,000. At that point, I mean, I would definitely say look at the SQ8, because 2 MPGs less for city and highway, it doesn't make sense to go that route. The cabin though is really sealed up. Doesn't have a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. I'm not really concerned about that when I'm in this trim, but at the pricing, I start wanting to unlock a lot more performance. 335 horsepower, it is still quite a bit. There is some turbo lag, which you will see here in a little bit in this review, but how quiet it is, how comfortable it is, it definitely ticks the box when you're thinking about a 22-inch wheel vehicle, and maybe you have some concerns to it. I mean, I would just not even think about that because it's so smooth and planted in the road. The seat cushion is good. Visibility is great, 8 inches of clearance. Everything's acoustic all around you. And we got almost 2,000 watts through Bang & Olufsen sound system. I purposely went over the rough areas so that way you can see what I mean by how smooth it is of a drive. But the lag does come into play around, I would say, all the way up to 2,200 RPMs, and then it finally starts to take off, and that's where the SQ8 is going to feel a little bit more lively. Maneuverability, not an issue at all. It doesn't feel that wide in the lane, and it doesn't feel that long, so I appreciate that. And with these quick speeds, you're not really concerned about getting over because you can move pretty quick in the vehicle. But if you were to go comfort, you will see that it hovers a lower RPM and it puts a little bit more weight to the vehicle so you can feel the curb weight whenever you are pushing the pedal. And realistically, when you're at these prices, the sweet spot does get unlocked on the SQ8. This is enough performance for your day in and day out use though. It's more than comfortable too. I mean, comparing it to any competition, BMW is going to be more sporty and the seats are going to be also more sport derived. Mercedes will have a little bit better cushion, but here, just by far the sound deadening is superb. Technology is where it's at. That's what Audi does with all these screen configuration, but it does give you some blind spots because you will be using your eyes here instead of looking at the road. But overall, it's a great built vehicle. Would I consider this over the SQ8? I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video right here.